Why being good at everything is actually not good for you. Have you ever met someone who seems to be great at everything they do? In school, you may have seen those star athletes that they were, the quarterback of the football team. They were also with the student council, and they were the ones on the honor roll as well. And you thought, what the heck? How come some people have everything? Why is it that some people are good at everything and others don't seem to be good at anything? Well, let me tell you, it is actually not good to be good at everything. Why? Because when you appear to be good at everything you do, it actually tricks your mind into thinking, oh, in order to keep up this appearance, I must be good at all the things that people see that I do. So let me tell you a story. When I was in high school, I started getting told things like that. Wow, Jodi, you're good at everything you do. Yes, I was on the honor roll. I did sports. I was a cheerleader. I was in the student council. I was doing all of these different things that checked the list of what people said. You're good at everything you do. So what did that do to me? It made me too afraid to try anything that I wasn't already good at. Gymnastics? Fine, I'm already good at that. I'll let you see me do gymnastics. Cheerleading? Fantastic. Schoolwork? Great. Those were my specialties. But do you think I'm going to go and try water skiing in front of someone for the first time? No. Why? Because what if I fail? What is that going to do to my image? What is it going to do to my image in their minds? So not only was I afraid to try it for myself, I was really afraid to try it because I didn't want others to perceive me as being anything less than good at everything that I did. So when I got invited to go on a lake trip with a bunch of other teens my age, I said no because I was too afraid that they would see me doing something I'd never done before. And what if I tried to get up water skiing and I couldn't do it? What if I fell off of the tube or jumped off of a boat and didn't look as great coming up as I wanted to? I was too afraid to try new things to actually give myself permission to experience something different in my life. So what ended up happening is I just did the same things that I was already good at on repeat. Now that's great because it meant I built strengths around those areas. But what did it mean for the rest of my life? It means I was unwilling to have any kind of new experience. So for several years, I went without allowing myself to try something new. There was no experimenting in my life. There was no trying new things. There was only doing the same things on repeat where I knew I could shine and look good. So by the time I got to college, this was so ingrained in me, I wouldn't even allow myself to take a class was something that I didn't already knew that I could be at least good enough at that I could succeed. While other people were trying classes to see how they liked it, to see if they had interest in a certain area, to see if they could excel in something, I was the opposite. I shut down anything that I wasn't already good at. And therefore, I may have eliminated some things that I could have loved, interests that I might have had, passions that I may have pursued, topics that could have become some of my favorite things in the world, and even activities in sports that I might have enjoyed. I eliminated them totally because I didn't feel confident that I would be able to succeed in them. So fast forward by the time that I was out of college and I was married, and I married someone who had very different hobbies and interests than I did. And what happened that first time he wanted me to go along skiing with him because skiing was his favorite sport? Not only was I petrified even to try, I knew that when I got up there, I was struggling, I was falling. Guess what? Everyone falls when they're first learning to ski. I looked at that as a reflection on myself, and I was too afraid that my husband, this person who supposedly loved me for who I am, under any and all circumstances, the good, the bad, rich, poor, but not if I'm falling down on the ski hill, for heaven's sakes. I actually didn't allow myself to enjoy or learn from the experience. I kind of refused to take lessons. He suggested I take lessons. I shouldn't have to take lessons. I'm good at everything that I do. I was too afraid to even let myself take lessons because I didn't want to show that I couldn't do something well. And this happened on repeat. My husband grew up playing tennis. He's like, oh, you don't play tennis? No, tennis wasn't one of the sports that I picked up as a kid. Same thing. He wanted to go and teach me tennis. He wanted us to go be tennis partners together. I tried it a couple of times. It didn't come that naturally to me. It was a little bit hard. I was afraid I was going to make him look bad as well as me look bad. And so I just casually stepped out, and lo and behold, over time, tennis was eliminated from the things that we could do together. One by one, I took all of the things my husband loved to do, and I crossed them off the list and said, well, we can't go skiing together. We can't play tennis together. He took me snowmobiling for the first time, dirt biking for the first time, motorcycle riding for the first time. And one by one, I crossed all of them off the list until, guess what? There was hardly anything that we could do together. Now that might seem extreme, but that was exactly the situation I put myself in because I was so worried about image, about looking like I had this image of perfection, that I was too afraid to try and too afraid to fail. So I eliminated all of these things from my life rather than being willing to experiment, to try, to fall, or to fail, but eventually to get back up and find something that I love. So one of the best lessons that you can teach others, which I have now since tried to teach my kids, is it is okay to get out there and try new things. You discover who you really are when you try new things, and you discover what you like, what you enjoy, what you are good at, that you may never have known had you not been willing to try. So now I have a daughter who's in college, and praise to the heavens, she is willing to go out and do all sorts of things that she's never done before. She's taking rock climbing classes, she's taking golf lessons, she's learning to ice skate, she took a swimming class. All of these things that maybe she's had a little experience with, and sometimes she's had no experience with at all, but she's willing to go out and do it. She doesn't care about whether she falls. She doesn't care about whether she fails. What she cares about is having a new experience and trying something new. So if you look at having the new experience as being success, then you can have success all of the time, and your image can be set on having new experiences, not on having a level of perfection and being good at everything you do. Because when you focus on trying to be good at everything you do, the reality is you're going to eliminate all of the great options for things that you can experience in life. You're going to kick those out in favor of sticking with the tried and true, the simple things that you know that you're good at. So I challenge you, have your level of success be trying new things and even failing at them to discover where your passions and your interests lie. And that is how you'll know that you have the right self-image.